My name is Jade Lee. I am a farmer, and amongst many other things, but we're just going to focus on the farming thing today. So that's what I'm all about. Farming, empowerment of women in farming, young people in farming, and advocating for that youth at risk and young women and older women. And if the men want to come along too, we can entertain them, but we're trying to empower the women, What brought me to the career of farming? I grew up on a farm, diverted from it, traveled the whole world, worked in the music business, did law, did all of these other things. And then about 8 years ago, I had a revelation. And I saw a divine intervention into my life that brought me back to my roots. And I decided to take my family farm that I grew up on. I've heavily invested in it. Farming takes heavy investments, right? So let's not even be misled by that. And form my own sort of template out of farming. So my farming journey has been different from many, although I do grow in bulk for many different, very large enterprises. My farming thing is agro, tourism, and educational farming. So there are two folds to my farm. We do tours for children from preschool to university, teaching them about the different practices in farming, the do's, the don'ts, and also fostering and nurturing a love for the land and a love for farming, and to sort of educate people that you are what you eat. Eat what you grow what you eat. Understand that farming is the most important occupation in the world. And I will contest anybody on that. I have 3 university degrees. I do not work in any of those fields. I chose farming. I chose farming because I see it as a dying career for smart people. Farming is not an option that you take as the last option because nothing else worked. So my grandfather has 3 acres in St. Elizabeth, and I'm gonna go and try to plant some ginger. It's an occupation that takes deliberate thinking, strategic planning, and a passion and a resilience that is second to none. When I say farming is the most occupation that one can have, it is because if I don't go to the hairdresser and do my hair, I won't die. If I don't, and I love my nails really pretty all the time. I mean, I'm just that farmer that always has to have beautiful manicures. But if I don't do my nails, I won't die either. As a matter of fact, if I don't wash my hair, if I don't bathe, if I don't wear clothes, I won't die. But if I don't eat, I will die. If I never watch television, if I never go back on social media, if I never practice law, I own many other businesses. If I don't even go into my business places, I probably won't die. But if I don't eat, I will die. And therefore, my choice for being an advocate of farming and being an advocate too of young people, women, men, whoever it may be that wants to go into farming, I am here for advice, for counsel, for encouragement, because it is the most important career of all. When we speak about women and farming and encouraging women to farm, I myself, I must admit I'm a little bit biased where the women are concerned. On my farm, I have 3 College of Agriculture graduates, and they're all females. There are 3 female young farmers. They are all under 30. As a matter of fact, the eldest is 25, and the other 2 are under 25. These are young female farmers that chose this path and actually has a degree in agriculture. So empowering women in farming. Why did I choose females on my farm? I could have chosen 4 males from the College of Agriculture. I could have. But on a personal note, I think the young females that chose farming are aggressively passionate about that career. When you see a young female that has come from a background that has nothing to do with farming, their household had no farmers. They didn't grow up on a piece of land. This is something that the universe put in them and said, this is your path. They chose it. So when they went to school, my 3 girls that I have on my particular farm are all top of their class. And when they work, no man on my farm can stand up to their resilience, their commitment, their dedication, and their meticulousness. So I am a little bit biased toward my female farmers. I get many questions on my social media pages from women. I want to start a backyard garden, or I have this, or I have that. And I always reach back out to them because I just love the passion. Encouraging females to do it. I think women have, because women are nurturing, we are the mothers, we are the bearers of fruit. And I'm not putting down the men, but a man can't bear fruit. He can only plant the seed. He can only plant the seed. So a woman has a natural, she naturally gravitates towards the bearing, the fruit bearing. So they're nurturing. When it comes on to the animals, they're caring and they're nurturing. So I tend to gravitate to the women. The journey, any journey other than the ones that are traditionally male, once you enter it as a female, there are going to be challenges. And then you're going to have the doubters, the haters, the backstabbers, and the bad minds, and all of these things that are going to say, you don't belong in farming. I came into farming out of a very conflicted business of music. I worked in the music business for many, many, many years. And and I say graduated from that into farming. I know my fellow musicologists would not like hear me say I graduated, because farming to me is a higher ground. The challenges I faced in the music business were not necessarily the ones that I face in farming, but of course farming came with its own challenges, because coming into farming as a female that was known in another field, people didn't take me seriously. People are like, what the hell is Jade doing? Farming, like really? They were used to seeing me in high heels and makeup and fancy clothes. When I put on my water boots and my jeans and my cap and my t-shirt, people didn't take me seriously. After winning the champion female farmer for Jamaica at Denby, I think I got a little bit more respect. People are like, oh wow, like she's really like serious about this. She's actually farming. And since then we have gotten many very big contracts in Jamaica from government agencies and stuff to produce for them and to grow for them. So I kind of bulldozed my way in there. I kept it moving. I didn't pay attention to the negative comments. As a matter of fact, they actually drove me more. They actually were my fuel to say, no man, you don't think I can farm? Okay, let me show you how this thing works. So they were my encouragement. I thank the doubters and the haters, because it sort of gave me more fuel to do better and to work harder. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could truly say there's never or has never been a moment in your life that you didn't feel even a little disempowered. Different circumstances or different situations, because of the expectations of others or the lack of expectations of others, would put you in a position like that. But you in yourself, you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you know what is that goal or that star that you want to reach. When there's anything put in your way that is there for you to stumble over, what do? You just jump over it. You just say, all right, brethren, let me just push it aside, push it aside. You have to put yourself in a mental and emotional space that is always looking to be the best you that you can possibly be. Everything, every challenge, every doubt. I am by nature an extremely driven person. I am driven because my personal accomplishments, it means something to me. It means something for someone to say, Jade is honest, Jade is principled, Jade is a good person, Jade is a real person. That means something to me. That is important to me. It's important to me that somebody is not saying, you know, she's an asshole, she's a bitch, she's a thief, she's dishonest. Those things, I work very hard not to have said about me. It's okay for somebody to say to me, no, she's ruthless, she's aggressive, she's miserable, because I think I'm a little bit of all of those things. That's fine. But my personal goals and my personal challenge to myself is that at the end of the day, I inspired, I changed lives in a positive way, I advocated for good, I made someone better today than they were yesterday. That's important to me. So in leaving all of the hype life behind, the entertainment and the legal fraternity and all of this, and saying, I choose to advocate for farmers and young farmers. I choose to teach. I choose to take 6 and 7 and 10 and 12 and 16-year-olds and say to them, this way of life and this path and this journey will be rewarding. So that to me is what empowers me to empower others. My biggest achievement or accomplishment as a woman are my 4 children. And I know they have heard this over and over again, but God blessed me with 4 beautiful children who I was, and when I say blessed me and honored me to have been able to have born 4 kids that I was in charge of their entire lives. I was a single mom for the most part. And I took my responsibility as a mother extremely serious. As long as I can remember being interviewed, especially in the music business, from my son who was probably 4 and he's now 25, I said I was raising someone's father and I'm raising somebody's husband. I'm not only raising my son, and I took it, my responsibility to him, even from being a man-child at 4 years old. I took that responsibility very serious. And I'm very proud to say today, my son is a man that I would want to have as the father of my children or a husband. I think many of my friends too would attest to that, and that is a great accomplishment to me. I have 3 daughters outside of my son who are amazing human beings. My eldest daughter just had her first son, so I am a very new grandmom. I became a grandmom on August 5th of this year, so I have a grandson, he's very young. And so my children, I think, are my greatest accomplishments and also my greatest gifts. They were gifts to me. And I want to say to mothers out there and fathers out there, it's very important that, you get this job to do, to raise a human being They didn't come with a handbook. They didn't come with any instructions. You kind of play it by ear as you go along. But I want to say, please take this job seriously, because when we as women go out there and we complain, oh, no good man not out there, or we as a man say, all the women, they're just awful. I can't find a good woman. But we are the ones who are raising these bad men and these bad women. We are the ones who has the responsibility to raise our children. And in raising our children, we have to be mindful that they're only our children for a very short time. They become a man and a woman, and that man and that woman partners with another man and woman, and then they have children. And they become mothers and fathers. Are we raising good mothers and fathers? Are we raising good husbands and wives? And if we are, where are they? Why is it that the world complains that there are no good men and women, that there are no good fathers and no good mothers? It's because we have done bad jobs. We have done bad jobs. That's the fact. So let's stop doing bad jobs. Let's take our jobs as a parent seriously. Or don't have them. You can have the fun at practicing, but you can just don't have them. If you're not prepared to be a good parent and raise a good man and a good woman, don't have them. Speak less, listen more. My father put it a different way. He said, God gave 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You have to listen twice as much as you talk. I would say, listen more, speak less. I would say be kind, and especially be kind to yourself. When you're young, you're not kind to yourself. You don't eat healthy. You don't sleep enough. You don't drink enough water. You don't think about all of these things that are going to affect you in your older years. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Value great friendships, because they do travel with you throughout the years. And at the end of the day, a good friend is better than pocket change. We hear that all the time, and it's so true. I don't believe that blood is necessarily thicker than water. I don't believe that. I have lived through a journey, and I have had some great friendships that has lifted me up spiritually, emotionally, that were so valuable to me that I can't say that blood is thicker than water. Value those true friends and be good to your friends. Understand too that any relationship, young people, any relationship in life is a two-way street. You give and you take. And if you have nothing to give to a relationship, then you should take nothing from it. Understand that a relationship with your children, your parents, your friends, your lover, your husband is a two-way street. Relationships at work, give and take. So when you're taking, always remember to give back. That is important. When you enter into a relationship, I say to my younger female friends, they say to me, oh my God, Jade, I can't find a good man. I want a man, he's got to be tall and dark and handsome, and he's got to be able to make lots of money, and he's got to be educated, and he has to speak properly, and he has to have a nice house and a nice apartment. And I say to them, and what do you bring to the table? It can't just be, the coochie. I mean, can I say that? It can't just be that, because then there's any woman walking down the street has one of those. So you're not bringing anything special to the table. So you're saying you want a man with all of these, 10 ticks. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? So I would say, look at your relationships and always bring something to the table. Your children, your lover, your husband, your job. Bring something to the table. Don't come to the table empty-handed and expect that everybody else that's coming to your table is going to be bringing something great. Doesn't work that way. You bring something, they bring something. It's a joint effort. 50-50, we say. Yeah.